You're listening to My Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more My Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at My Grito, the My Grito Podcast Network.
The Mind Buzz, now partnered with My Grito Industries.
This podcast episode of The Mind Buzz is brought to you by House of Chingazos. House of Chingazos is a Latino-owned online store that speaks to Latino culture and Latino experience. I love House of Chingazos because I like t-shirts that fit great and are comfortable to wear. I wear them on the podcast and to the carne asadas. Click the affiliate link in the show description and use promo code The Mind Buzz. That's THEMINDBUZZ to receive 10% off your entire purchase. The cash saved will go directly to the Mind Buzz podcast to help us do what we do best, and that's bringing you more Mind Buzz content. Click the link in the show description for more. The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more. February 23rd, Delic Comedy is a stand-up comedy open mic, comedy showcase, and podcast recorded in front of a live studio audience. Each open mic and featured stand-up comedian will receive 3 minutes of stage time followed by an interview. Oh yeah, by a host and 2 special guest hosts. February 23rd, Delic Comedy. Check out the link in the bio. The Mind Buzz. Let's go. Boom! What is up, Mind Buzz universe? Welcome back to another podcast episode of the Mind Buzz. My name is Gil, and that's with 2 L's. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 L's, G-I-double-L, and working the 2s and 3s in the back is my producer, my lifelong partner. She tells me what to do every single minute of my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Amber, how are you?
I'm good. You got a nose hair.
That was longer than 3 minutes or 3 seconds, right?
Just kidding.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'd be horrible at telling you because I can't see.
Oh. Yeah, you would, huh?
All my senses are like shot.
No, because
I can't hear, I can't smell, I can't see.
But okay, I give you that. But if you did have good eyesight, you'd be able to look up and see what's hanging out of my nose.
That's
because
true.
of your stature, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
I can.
So, but you've never run into that problem before?
Yeah, of course. But I think a nose hair is just different.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing.
What are you going to say? Hey, you have a nose hair, and then can I pluck it out for you?
Can I pull it for you? You know how satisfying that is?
I know.
Have you ever felt it? If it don't shave it, you pull it.
No.
It has this weird sensation that.
Do you pull your nose hair and you don't feel it in your nose? You feel it like somewhere else in your body?
Yeah, I feel it. The feeling after I pull it,
like my groin. That's
goes up my spine, like something really sensual. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no wonder you're like, you got a nose hair.
I'm bald in my nose.
You have like no hair in your nose.
Is that bad? We got to look that up too.
Yes, your nose
to see
hairs,
if that is bad.
Your nose hairs help from like dust particles.
Oh, so it acts like those things on your eyelids?
Yes, like eyelashes, or like like those what are they called? Like wind curtains or whatever. The ones like in restaurants when you open a door and then it like blows air like. Whoosh.
Wind curtains. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No. All right, you sound like a 1940s
no, it's
restaurant decorator.
You need to have it. You need to have it in all restaurants.
Okay. All right. Well,
but that's what it's for.
Okay. Well, let's take care of our My Grito Weekly and let's get into today's guest because I'm super excited to talk to Danny right now. So without further ado, let's go to My Grito, and Amber has that. Take it away.
Yeah. So Maria Sanchez will be performing at Forever Mine in Bakersfield on February 10th.
The video.
Oh, shoot. I forgot. Thanks. All right. So Maria Sanchez will be performing at Forever Mine in Bakersfield on February 10th. Some of you may remember her from our episode 149 on the Mind Buzz. Go check that out. Also, Bad Hombres will be at La Cita on February 23rd. You may also remember their drummer, Sebastian, on one of our episodes, so 170. He's a jiu-jitsu personal trainer, so go check that out as well. Carlos Sweetwater will be in Arizona at the Rhythm Room on February 29th. Rundown Creeps recently released this new music video you can find on their YouTube or the link in their Instagram bio. The Paranoias will be releasing their new music video shortly, so stay tuned for that. For more details on these shows, go to the artist's Instagram page and don't forget to visit mygrito.net to purchase your vinyl. Yeah.
Booyah! And don't forget, February 23rd, all the info is down at the show description, or you can find it on mindbuzz.org. You can put the camera back on me. February 23rd, in the city of Paramount, we will be having Dalek Comedy, which is an open mic comedy showcase and live podcast. I'm super stoked for that. I think we have 13 signups ready to hit the stage with the 3 minutes and talk to me and the special guest. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time.
Tickets are free.
Tickets are free.
Get your tickets.
Get
Come
in.
out. Have fun.
Get in while the getting is good and free.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. February 23rd, city of Paramount, mindbuzz.org for all your info. And without further ado, he does comedy everywhere in the OC, in LA, sometimes in the IE, I think. Danny Nixxon, thanks for coming out and doing the podcast, brother.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming out, dude. I'm super excited, man.
This is going to be fun. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So what do you think? We were talking about nose hair.
Nose hairs, yes.
Before.
Right.
Like, what's your perspective on that?
On telling somebody you got a nose hair? Well, I plucked my nose hairs too, and I'll just this is what people came for. I'll grab them by like a bunch at a time and just yank them out, and then I'm like so used to it now that it's like it's tolerable. But when you do it, like, you just sneeze like a maniac,
Right.
for like a good 15 seconds.
Okay.
But Amber, you're correct. You shouldn't pluck them because they do act as a screen, as a filter for all the microbes and dust that makes you sick. And I actually have noticed that because I'll use the little nose trimmer thing, which is great. It's super fun and addicting and satisfying. But then I notice afterwards, I'm like, it's all clear. And then I'll like, I kind of feel like my immune system has decreased. Does that make sense?
So yeah, so they're like what eyelashes do for your eyes.
Totally.
Oh.
Yeah.
I used to date
And pubic
this.
hair. No, I'm just kidding.
I used to date this. Really? I used to date this punk rock chick that used to pluck her eyelashes out.
Her eyelashes.
Her eyelashes.
That's
Yeah,
how
I
punk
didn't
rock she
notice.
was?
That's how punk rock she was. I didn't notice that.
But then she paint them on, kind of like the cholas do, like the eyebrows and then repaint them on, or like she would just, that's like a nervous.
No, it was her eyelids, not her eyebrows.
I know, but she would do it. Would she do it like her eyebrows? Kind of mean. She would trim them,
Or
pluck
put,
them,
like,
and then
fake-
put the eyeliner on. Yeah, and then put the fake.
Yeah,
fake
she put
lashes.
fake ones, and she used to glue them like straight to her skin. Yeah, it was
commitment.
It's
Dedication.
it was different.
You know, you got to respect the hustle.
I respect it.
You know,
Totally, dude.
Do your nose hairs grow longer because you trim them?
I don't know, but they definitely sneak up on you though.
Conversation.
When there is that one that just kind of sneaks past everything, and you're like, "How did you get out here?" And then you get
Bugger.
it. It's something
So
satisfying.
TMI, but I would go to a laser hair removal, And the girl at the laser hair removal was like, "Hey, you want me to like remove your nose hairs?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, you know. So they put the little laser through my nose, and then would do it. Apparently, you have to go through all the sessions. I left like 3 sessions undone because of COVID and never went back. And now like they grow like 2 inches out. Like they're like ridiculously long. And it was saying like if you don't have enough hair and you do laser, you like stimulate more hair growth. So I was like, she fucked me. That's messed up.
That sounds half correct. I mean, I'd believe it. I mean, it's kind of like, when you cut the grass or when you prune roses, right, and they grow back fuller, better. If you just let them grow once, then they don't really do much. But the more you cut them.
The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more.
I respect how Amber did it, though. Like, she's over here going to a place to get them laser removed, and then, man, we just, what? We're just
in the car on the way over here, just like, achoo. It's you. Like, and then sometimes tears do form, but not because you're from the, you're not a crybaby.
Yeah. Danny Nixxon is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. You are pretty busy, man.
I'm trying to be.
You are very busy.
I'm not. I'm trying to be.
Okay.
February. It looks good. It looks
good.
I like it. It looks good on paper. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, February's going to be good. We got some stuff lined up in February. Trying to
pull up what he has going on.
Yeah. We got a show. What's today? Thursday. So Saturday night we're doing House of Blues, the Foundation Room with Comedy Madness. That should be fun. And then, yeah. But right now, we're on the Mind Buzz, and that's what's most important.
There we go. But you also have your off the hook with Danny.
On deck, off the hook,
and on deck.
And, we're going surfing the 90s.
Is that what it's? Sorry, dude. I've been in a 1999 thing.
I'm a child of the 90s too. So
for that, but you also have that which. Dude, I like.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
I would sit around because I kind of wanted to do something like this. I'm like, I want to do something because like it's hard for me to kind of get out and do as much comedy as I want to. I've got family responsibilities, but so when I'm home, I'm like, I got to be doing something. So I wanted to do something. I didn't know what it was, and I was like, and I'm lazy, so I was like, what? I just kind of want to talk to other comics and find out like what their writing style is and how they approach comedy, like stuff I'm genuinely curious about. And so I started. I didn't even know what it was going to be or how it was going to turn out, and we tried one with Adrian Luna at Ontario Improv, and did another one with our boy Mikey Barajas, which he's also going to be at House of Blues on Saturday night, and a couple of other shows as well. I think he's going to be we're doing a bunch together. Continental Room, King's Brewing Company, and I think he's in Comedy Boulevard too in LA. I think we're all together on that. So yeah. But yeah, and I got a third in the works, and I may even do one on tonight after the show on you if we want, if you guys are down. And yeah, it's just fun. It's fun and easy, because I like the long form too. There's definitely an appetite for it, and like I said, I'm lazy, so I figured like let me get quick, get in, get out,
right.
And do features on other people, and then
Do you mind if we pull up a reel?
Sure.
Yeah. You can.
This one?
Yeah. Is that's one, right?
Which one?
With
yeah, Mikey
Barajas?
and the one with Adrian, or The Curse at Ontario Improv. It's actually kind of interesting.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, go to the Curse.
That's
one.
like a snippet. Yeah.
There we go. Perfect.
That pretty much only all the employees know about. Headlining acts will come here and then die. So, for instance, Ralphie May, one of his last performances here. John Witherspoon, his last performance here. Dick Gregory, his last performance here. Most recently, Bob Saget. He played here and then died like a week later. So there is some sort of like Ontario Improv headliner curse.
Is it the building you think itself? Or
This
you think
building
it's
is cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always
Are there
something
ghost
wrong.
stories here or something?
I don't know necessarily ghost stories.
cursed.
It's just
bad
it's
energy.
just bad energy.
It's funny because every time I've been here, I've had amazing shows. So.
Yeah.
But I'm not a headliner, so hopefully I'm safe.
That's why I'm like, you know what? But yeah, that's an improv curse.
That's
you kind of know about.
I didn't know that.
Ontario specifically.
I'm scared to go on tonight. I don't know if I'm rethinking everything. Dude, it's a great mic. It's
Thanks,
one
man.
of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
You're doing something right, man. And I'm thankful for you to come on our first show and try it out. We'll see how it works.
Yeah.
This may be awful, but I appreciate you coming out and doing this for us and setting up the mic for all the comedians.
Yeah. If it doesn't work out, let me know. I'll do it again.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's cool.
It's really cool. I like
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I have a background in video and graphics and motion graphics and video editing, and I was like, I might as well just. And I'm very particular, so I enjoy working alone and just plugging away at it. So thank you. It's fun. I'm excited to watch it. To keep doing more and have it evolve. It's gonna be. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And then that curse thing, I haven't really
there's
heard that.
an update to that, which Adrian I guess left out because then the comments were going and all of the other employees were commenting. Apparently, Mitch Hedberg also on that list.
That's right.
So he did the last special he did was at the Ontario Improv that he recorded, and he died I think like a couple months later.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So add him to the list. And and then other people said that it is haunted. They're like, oh no, for sure it's haunted. So we'll see. I don't know.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on haunted stuff?
Haunted stuff? Man, I think there's so much we don't know that I'm just like, yeah. I mean, there's things that I believe in multi-dimensional entities, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, so yeah, for sure. I've heard too many stories from people that I know and trust, and
right.
Just things like, I mean, I always think about brainwave, just the idea of a brainwave in general. Like, you ever think about somebody you haven't thought about in a long time, and then like they call you 10 minutes later. You know what I mean? Like that stuff, like the unexplained stuff. You're like,
gotcha.
Well, there's something out there. Like, so yeah, ghosts for sure.
That
Something
happens.
like echoes of energy that were
Right. Whatever you're putting out there, sticks around for a little bit.
I think so.
Sometimes it answers back.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's still there.
Right. And then plus something too, like a comedy club, there's energy. There's energy every time the lights come on in any place.
So yeah, I used to work when I first got started in comedy, when I was in high school, I worked at a comedy club in Houston called the Laugh Stop. And actually Mitch Hedberg came through and recorded an album there when I worked. I was a doorman. So I got to see all the comics come through, but people would tell ghost stories about that place. And they even said that Bill Hicks, because he would frequent, that's kind of where he got his start in Houston, which is where I'm from, that he actually literally haunted that place.
Really?
And I mean, I heard so many stories, but the one in particular, like they were all the comics were hanging out, all the local comics were hanging out late one night after the show. It was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and everyone was like super drunk. So factor that in. Sure.
Okay.
But, one of the waitresses like went up on stage and she was like on the mic and she was trying to be funny. But I think she's obviously not a comedian. She was doing terrible. And she says that she just felt this presence come up on stage and gently kind of guide her off. It's like sit down. And people they would say that also what you're saying about the audience, they would see like these like like the laughter, that energy of the laughter. They would describe these like waves of like where the audience would be laughing, like stuff like that. And when I'd have to leave there, like, clock out at the end of the night. And
right.
I got out of there pretty quickly when it was dark.
That's a crazy story with the woman, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder if she was a Waffle House waitress.
Maybe. No, I don't know. What? I don't.
That was a Bill Hicks reference to his Waffle House joke.
Oh, damn it.
What you reading for? It's that bit.
I don't know that bit.
I fucking love Mitch Hedberg, and I'm not going to do it. Mitch Hedberg and Bill Hicks, dude. They're like all-time favorite.
Dude, yeah.
When I first started getting into comedy, it was Bill Hicks. I was obsessed with that dude.
He was, I'm sad to say that I couldn't do or name you Bill Hicks materials as well as I could Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah. But, so, yeah, I was fun, dude. Like, Ralphie May would come through. Kathleen Madigan would come. Dave Chappelle before he was the GOAT.
Dude, how is it, like, now just... You've been around comedy for such a long time, right?
Well, so I started it when I was in high school,
right?
And then I didn't do anything for like 20 years. So I'm you could pretty much say I'm new to comedy.
Oh, okay.
I've got life experience. I mean, I've done performances and stuff like that. I've got a performance background. I did music for a long time. So I mean, I've been in front of crowds,
entertainment,
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But, I've missed comedy, and then I got an opportunity to start doing it again, and man, I love it. I love it, and it's way better than music. And the reason, and I love music. I play music. I love to play music. Comedy is so awesome because when you play music, you have to rely on, unless you're a solo artist, but even if you're a solo artist, you got to bring your guitar, you got to bring your amp, you got to bring your microphone, you got to bring your cables, you got to bring your, all the shit. And when you do comedy, you just show up.
Yeah.
And it's all on you.
Right.
You don't have to rely on anyone else. You don't have to change your strings. You don't have to tune. You don't have to sound, like maybe there's some sound check, sure. But I love it. That freedom, it's the best, dude.
Yeah, I think that's why it's one of the hardest forms of art entertainment to do, because it's super vulnerable and you're just
totally
up there.
Totally.
You can't blame if something goes wrong. You can't blame your guitar. You can't blame the drummer. You can't blame the bass player. It's all on you.
Yeah, and when you play music though too, like sometimes even if you mess up playing music, like sometimes you can cover it up with a mistake. Sometimes they don't know.
Right.
If you mess up in comedy for
on
the most
a word
part,
or something, like what are you gonna do?
It throws everything off, or like it's harder to cover for. I mean, granted, I think the longer you do it, the easier it is to ride those waves, I guess. But yeah,
how is it crazy to you were younger, right? Back in Houston, working the door.
Dude, it was
and
best.
And fast forward 20 years later, and the comics that used to come through that door are household names like Dave Chappelle, Ralphie May. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, everyone came through there. I mean, I'm trying to think of other Jim Brewer, Richard Jenny before he died, Pablo Francisco, Jeff Dunham, Jeff Ross, Dave Attell. I mean, all these guys, and everyone, pretty much anyone. Kathy Griffin. Somebody had a seizure. During Kathy Griffin's show, and I thought that was very fitting.
Whoa.
I was like, yeah, I get it. But sorry to all you Kathy Griffin fans. I liked her pre-nose job, quite honestly. I think she looked better with the original nose. I don't know if I'm alone on that.
Let's get some
she looks
pictures of her up there. Kathy Griffin.
I think all of Hollywood now.
Post nose and pre nose.
Pre nose is always the way to go.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh, is that her now? Okay. What year? Whoa! Look at those lip tattoos. She got a lip tattoo. That's crazy.
She's got. I don't know.
Look at that. Oh, okay.
Wait, that's not her.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, she looks nice.
Oh, yeah. She made it whiter. Or is that just me?
I don't know what she did. I mean, I feel like they all kind of all start to look the same after a while. Like they're all using the same doctor or something. I don't know what it is, but like I think all kind of look the same.
Right. It's
like
just
catfish or something. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It bothers me.
One surgeon just trying to make everybody look the same.
Yeah.
It's like, I think I got a perfect nose for this.
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
Just like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
That's what we need to get into.
Okay, I see. Oh, there's not much of that.
No,
much of a difference.
Look at type in like Kathy Griffin 2023.
Oh, okay. That was 97 and 2007. That's almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, let's go current.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Her hair is shorter too.
But yeah, it looks like she gave herself a whiter nose.
It looks wider, right? Okay, that one doesn't.
What did she do?
She's like Joan Rivers there. Almost.
He's pulling her nose hairs out for her. That's how you know you got money, ladies and gentlemen, that you can have a doctor pull out your nose hairs out for you. You don't need a laser. You don't need your fingers. You got somebody else. Oh. She don't look that bad. No.
Now you're making me look like an asshole. Like, gee, you guys got Kathy Griffin, dude. Leave her alone. I love how she's like used up like 15 minutes of the podcast right now. Like just Kathy Griffin. She'd be proud.
Her up.
Now we have to pay her royalties. So I'm sorry, Gil. That's
Kathy Griffin.
Out of your pocket.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, that's our new sponsor of today, nose hair trimming. If you need nose hair trimming, go down the show. No, I don't got anything yet.
Yeah,
I don't get. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But we're plugging that in soon.
You're plugging it, and then you're gonna pluck it.
Yeah, there we go.
We're plucking it.
Yeah.
Plugging it in soon. But yeah, over the 20 years, right, that you know, kind of.
I feel like I screwed up, quite honestly. Yeah, I feel like I should have been doing it the whole time. Like, I feel like if I had been, because it takes a while. It's years, of hard work and all this stuff. And I was like, all this time I was devoted to music and stuff, which I still love. But I wish I had started an Instagram or a YouTube channel like 10 years ago and been doing it this whole time.
Everybody says
I know,
that.
right?
Even me, dude. I'm just like, if I would have just started a podcast in 2000
when I had just bought a home in 2009, right after the crash, I would have been perfect.
Dad, you should have bought that piece of land in Mexico while you had the chance.
You had the chance, and now it's run by cartels.
Right.
So,
literally.
Yeah. But yeah. Where were we? What were we on?
The you working the door, seeing all these
it
people
was
coming
seriously the best time. And so I was doing the open mics there. I was like learning from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing comedy.
Oh, nice.
At that time. So, and I was young. I was like 17, 18. So I was like the youngest guy there for a while. And then I moved out here to go to school, and I didn't. That was it. But before then, I did probably about 2 years being the door guy. So it's just like homework, just watching all the guys come through every night, just kill. It was a dream, seriously. And then doing the mics. And so I kind of got some feel for it. But if people ask, I can't be like, oh yeah, it's like 2 back in 2000 and then 1 since 2022. Like it's 1. I'm like about a year in pretty much now.
Gotcha.
And it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's fun.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I'd like to think quickly. I mean, I think we all learn pretty quickly. You can't go up there and rant. Did you know that? Did you know you can't just go up there and rant unprepared?
You know what? Before even doing any type of open mic signing up, we've hosted open mics for about a year.
Yeah.
We've gone out to watch other open mics for about a year. And that didn't really click to me until I started going up there myself and watching a lot of comedy. Oh, okay. It's not going up there and just ranting. You have to sit down and actually think about what you're talking about.
Totally. I mean, there's obviously guys that can riff for sure and do crowd work, but yeah, I mean, it's a dance. You know, for the most part, it's well rehearsed and it's made to look like you're saying it for the first time.
Exactly.
I think that's a challenge too, because you have to say it. For me, at least, my process is I say the joke over and over and over with a microphone. You know, I pretend the audience is there. I talk it out, and then eventually you kind of nail it. You're like, okay, sounds pretty tight, and we could try it. But then by the time you're ready to try, you're almost sick of it. You know what I mean? Like by the time you perfect it, you're like, okay, well, I'm done with it.
I want to do something else.
And then it starts. It feels rehearsed, and then you're just like, okay, well, now I have to make it not sound rehearsed.
Yeah, you have to make it not sound rehearsed, and then also make it sound like you're excited to.
Yes, it's like the first time I'm saying it. Oh my God, yeah. You've said it. How many times?
It's a lot of theatrics, and that's what I've learned over the month was, whoa, this thing is theater. Like it's
for sure. It's an act.
Part theater.
I liked your act. I liked your act.
Right.
It's totally. I mean, it's all birthed from the vaudeville days. You know, they didn't go out there, didn't know what they were doing, and they would usually bring tap dancing too. So, I mean, we got to step up our game, really. I mean, we're all slacking, is what I say. You know, if you can't use a top hat and cane,
right,
with a nice spin and a shazam and a flash and the jazz hands, then
I was telling
really comics.
I don't think so, dude. I was telling Ricky and Jay that we should bring back the barbershop trio, status
quartet kind of stuff?
Yeah. Or you could be our fourth person, dude.
I'll do that.
We need a quartet.
I mean,
okay.
I can kind of get low.
There we go.
You could be the man sitting in the chair, and then you pop in with your low voice.
Okay. I can also get pretty high too.
Okay.
High voice.
So yeah, but yeah, count me in.
All right, cool. There we go.
Committed.
Jay, you heard the man.
Yeah.
We got our quartet, so it's going to be a quartet now.
We'll make you laugh. Something like that.
Boom.
You could tell by the vocals that's why I gave up music. That's why I was never going to make it.
Maybe not have him on our quartet. We'll see. We'll have people.
You jumped
judging.
the gun, Gil.
Yeah.
You signed the
I know. I get too excited on things.
Should have got that prenup.
Did you always I always think about this now that I involuntarily am now surrounded more by comedians. No, I'm just kidding. But did you always feel like you were funny, growing up?
Oh yeah.
Or,
I don't. Yeah. I was always cracking jokes. I mean, I loved comedy. I was always performing comedy, making people laugh from a very early age, like Saturday Night Live, Monty Python, Mel Brooks, and then Comedy Central was on when they just played stand-up comics and movies, like funny movies. And it's all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was be on Saturday Night Live. And so yeah, and I think it mainly is because I'm just so socially awkward, and and I just remember when I really started to discovered comedy was more of a defense mechanism, really, and I think a lot of it is for a lot of people, but I started a new school. I didn't know anybody, and somebody said something to me, and I don't know. I don't even remember what I said back, but they laughed. I was like, oh, okay. I get it, and it's a way for a lot of times for me, at least, is to deflect from the awkwardness. But I've just been doing it so long that I don't know if I'm quick, but give me time, and then usually I'll get a laugh or something. It's funny now that I do comedy, I talk about this. You go to just a board meet, not a board meeting, but a conference or something like that, and some speak for work or something, and some speaker gets up and they crack the opening joke, and the room gets a good laugh, and I'm just like, oh wow, he's killing right now. It's totally changed my perspective on how to work a crowd, and because that's also half the battle, is keeping their attention, right?
Right.
And telling a story and then throwing the jokes in,
Yeah. Getting their attention and then maintaining that same energy.
Totally.
Right.
For sure. And you have to do it in a confident way. Like I'll see some guys go up and you can just tell right away. You'll see some comics, they'll go up, and as soon as they go up, even if they're funny, they don't have the confidence, and the audience just immediately starts talking. You know what I mean? Like they just don't command of why you should be looking at them. But that's kind of half the battle, because like you said, you're so vulnerable.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you'll see somebody like, and I'll do it too. Sometimes like you think you're going to commit to the joke, but then something happens, or like, there's a little glimpse in your eye, and then people can sense, and they're like, okay,
they're not feeling this.
They're not feeling it, or they can just, it's like shark. They can smell fear or something. You know what I mean? Like you have to go full.
You're being judged.
You're totally being judged.
You're being judged.
Totally being judged.
That's what it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of why I like it, because it's like that awkward. It's so awkward. You're just standing up there dying, and you have to just make them laugh from the awkwardness, and
right. I totally get that. Yeah, because if you're already like if you're bullied, or you're an awkward type of person already, or you're the butt of the joke every single time.
Totally.
Right. So you have that defense already up.
Totally.
Right.
For sure. It is to keep people at an arm's length, you know what I mean? And I also do that if I want to get out of a conversation. You just end with a joke, you say something funny, and then they're laughing, and then you walk away. You're like, see ya. And you're like, Jesus. He wouldn't shut up. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I am awkward. I've gotten better at it, and that's also why I like doing the show, the On Deck too, because it also kind of forces me to interview other people and to kind of like work on my conversation skills, because I don't know about you, but my biggest problem is like I don't listen. Like even when I go to comedy clubs or comedy shows or open mics and stuff, and like even like some good friends of mine that are up there, like I'm either in my head or I'm thinking about what else I'm going to say in the conversation, that I'm always up here that I don't hear what they're saying. So they'll be like, they'll come after, I can tell they're laughing, but they'll be like, that one bit that I did, the thing that worked, right? I'm like, I didn't.
Did you record it?
Yeah.
Let me listen back. Let me watch it.
Because I'm just always up here, which is not good. It's not good. But yeah, so I always feel bad. They're like that one joke totally worked. I'm like, sure.
Right.
Yeah. Which one was that?
Do it again.
Like you've seen my set like 5 times. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like it's nothing. It's terrible. It's not good.
Right.
It's not a good habit.
But also it's different, because if you're there at a mic with a comic, you're in your head focused on you getting up and your act.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I think most comics are too. I mean, everyone's on their phone scrolling their notes, so doing mics for other comics is always a struggle.
But you know what what is awesome, dude? I went to a mic last night at it's called Feed That Funny. It's out here in the Inland Empire.
Yeah, but Darby, right?
Darby Cash.
And Parker
Owen Parker.
Yeah, Owen Parker.
Yeah, 2 great guys, 2 funny guys. So they have it every Wednesday at this pizza joint called First Amendment. Okay, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. It's a good time. So last night, I just had a blast, dude. And they asked me, do you want to go up tonight? I'm just like, you know what? Tonight, I'm just chilling. I'm just going to hang out, vibe out with all these cool people. And it was completely different. That gave me, 2 things happened. That gave me the opportunity to hang out and chat with everybody, but also it gave me the opportunity to be hungry to write again, to be inspired, right? And then it also gave me a chance to just sit and actually listen to their comedy.
Because you're not going up. You're not thinking about what you're going to say. You're
right.
like, ooh, that's a good tag, or I should, make a joke about that guy who just said this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hear you.
But it was really good. It was awesome. It was a good time.
Check it out. That's far from me. So where's that? Where's it?
Like, San Pedro. Yeah. That's the other way, dude.
Where is it?
Claremont. It's about 15 minutes away from here.
From here, okay.
Yeah, okay. Back towards LA.
I make the drives. I'm doing,
Right.
Rancho Cucamonga next week. That's
Gotcha.
as far as but it's gonna be fun. Kevin Caveman's gonna be there. Maxwell Farms hosting, and Adrian Luna is gonna be there too, and Perry Joseph Perry. People are gonna be offended. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be so.
Have
fun.
you been to King's Brewery before?
I haven't been there. No, but I've done a lot of Maxwell Farms mics, and I've always had a great time. They move around a lot.
Are they mostly in the IE?
They've been everywhere. The first time I did it was they were at some, what was it? I want to say like, not Bellflower, like Placentia there. And then they were in Fullerton, and then they were in Corona, and then they're in Rancho. But every time I've been to one of their shows, I always have a great time.
Yeah. Just pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
King's Brewery is a cool spot. I don't know. I haven't been to their comedy shows or open mics, but it's a really cool spot. I used to live like walking distance, 5 minutes from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. Should be a good time.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome. But would you feel, because this also happened too, there was a lot of conversation on why, and I'm talking to Andy on this one, Andy C, because he was doing the same thing too. He was going out, hanging out, he usually does open mic comedy too. And they were saying they're giving him some, dude, why don't you just go up? You got to work on your stuff. And then to get out of that, he'd be like, hey, Gil's not going up tonight. Why don't you give him shit? But I was just like, you know what, dude? It's all good, man. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Whatever your decision is, whether you go up or not, like what's the point? I don't know. I don't know where my point is at what I'm bringing up. But
well, I think like you're saying, it's kind of like a way to kind of just take a step back for a second. And it's kind of like,
right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It's like, I also you can equate it to like, if you're ever building a skill, I'll bring it back to music. I play different instruments. My favorite is to play the drums. And it's like, I'm the worst at it because it's the most like tedious,
right,
so to speak. But there'll be moments, I'll play for like an hour, and then it's not working. It just feels like everything feels like shit. And then I'll take like a week off, and then you come back, and it's just
feels good.
It not even feels good. It's there.
Yeah.
What I was working on is there now. You know what I mean? Like it's on a delay. And so from that same concept, like if you're always working on your music or on your comedy, maybe you need to take a step back and just, like you said, go enjoy the night. Plus there's also the whole, camaraderie of the scene and the other comics. Cause I love being around other supportive comics. Not all comics are support. I mean, again, it's Hollywood, like some people are in it for themselves, or there's cliques and all that stuff. But I always try to just find people that are supportive and will give you pointers and, come up together, that kind of thing. So
yeah,
so there's always that too, which is positive.
Yeah, it was really different. Just not doing anything, just hanging out. No expectations, nothing like that.
Yeah. I did that actually. I went to the Continental Room I'm doing that in a couple weeks, but I wanted to check it out too. So I went. I think Guy Gooley was there that night. And Vince Royale showed up, and I was just there. I knew I was going to go on, but I was just there to watch, and that was kind of nice. It was well, granted, part of me was kind of like, maybe there's a chance I'll go up.
Exactly, but what gets you to keep coming back is that newfound passion for it. It's like I can go up. Like there's this built up tension that you need to release. You need to build up that tension and that passion and love for it. Like today, I was writing for like 2 hours. I sat down right there and wrote for 2 hours straight.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So you literally write pen and paper kind of thing? You're on your iPhone, or you voice memos?
I typically type on my phone or on the laptop, but I did something very different today, and that was pen and paper.
Okay.
And it was weird. I'm used to just...
Yeah. Yeah, some guys are very particular about that. I think a lot of I think Seinfeld, he's like, never. Like he's always pen and paper.
Really?
Always pen and paper.
Yeah.
I remember he had a joke or something. He even with the keyboard, and it's like blinking at him or something. It's just like waiting. He's like, so what are you gonna do? And he's like, I don't want that pressure.
Right.
It's like, for me, I definitely use my I have a notebook, but I'm an iPhone note taker. But then I just kind of talk it out. I stopped. I used to write them out verbatim, and then I noticed that like you'd write them out verbatim, and then you start saying it, and it just doesn't sound funny. Have you ever done that? You wrote a whole thing and then you say, I got this funny thing, and then you read it and you're like, this is awful. So that's not funny at all. So my approach now is like, if I have the idea, I'll literally just like start telling, like I'm at an open mic saying it for the first time, and I'm like, oh, this feels weird. And then as you literally have to say it out loud a couple times, and then it starts to kind of like formulate. This is my approach, but I like talking about the process with people because, sometimes it's hard for me to actually sit down and do that and write anything.
Really?
But what I will do is I'll 30 minutes, pretend like I'm doing a set for 30 minutes and I'm just riffing.
Let me take that back. It wasn't 2 hours straight.
Sure.
I was like back and forth, just getting up. Let me go do something real quick. For like 2 minutes. I think I have like severe ADD or something.
But it was a good chunk of like.
It was a good chunk, and I wrote maybe more than half of it is probably going to be crap, but at least I got it all out and sat down.
Exactly.
And I think I wrote two new things, right, Amber? And next mic I'm going to try them out. So it was a pretty productive day today, dude.
So what's your process? So you wrote it today.
Mm-hmm.
Have you said it out loud? Have you practiced, or are you going to you have the idea? Did you memorize it?
I write it out verbatim. I cut things. I cut them, and then I rethink them. What can I switch this person? Say if there's like a celebrity, would it be different if I put Jeffrey Dahmer instead of, I don't know, Martha Stewart? Or would Cosby be the best person for this type of thing? Right? So I play with it that way. And then when it's all said and done, I go to my filter right over here on the other side of the screen. And I take this little guy right here. I practice with hands and motions and everything.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. And I'm like, okay, pause your phone, stop the TV, stop what you're doing, and listen to me. So I'll do that. And ta-da, what do you think? And I either get a laugh or no.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't say that
Don't
at
say
all.
that.
Don't. What is
thought.
your problem, dude?
Yeah.
Is this what you're doing? Yeah, exactly. You got problems.
Yeah. I'm rethinking this whole relationship right now.
Right.
I can't be with somebody who has those thoughts.
You literally said that today. She was like, "What? Why does it have to be all about death and assault? Like, what's your problem?" Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, no, to have a sounding board for sure. My wife does. I do the same thing with my wife.
Okay.
When I can, because if I could, I'd be like, "What is this funny? Is this funny? Is this funny? Is this funny?" And then she would go crazy. So I have to pick my moments of when I could present.
Right.
But yeah. The other thing is, I've got a couple buddies that some of my best friends that I'll call, and we just talk.
Right.
A couple times, once a week, just in general, but usually I'll try some stuff out and then they'll give me notes.
Oh, there we go.
But some of the best stuff that I have, like when I'm laughing out loud, like just hysterical, or just from conversations that I'll have with my friends on the phone.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, holy shit, I got to write that down, or how did I say that? And then usually it's so funny because usually it just never formulates again. I don't go back to it.
No.
Or when I try, it's just not the same. So, and it's kind of. I also sometimes I'll work on if I'm just driving or wherever I am, I'm working on the joke. I'm saying it. I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to trim it down and say it over and over. And how can I say it? But sometimes you'll work on it forever, and I'm like, it's just not working. And then another joke you'll write in 10 seconds. You're like, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of, I always bring it back to music. It's the same thing. Like some songs because I would write songs, you work on a song forever and it just sounds like shit and it's just not coming. And then just another, you pick up the guitar and this song writes itself. And like, it's like, they say, you didn't write that joke or you didn't write that song. You were a vessel.
Right.
That joke was there. That thought was there. That song was there. You were just the vehicle for which you were allowed you manifested it into reality kind of thing. So that was my point is the best jokes are the ones where they just come quickly.
They just happen.
And you're like, oh, well, that was easy.
Is it full on bits or is it just like the last punchline that happens?
Sometimes it's usually it's probably like the joke of the punchline, but then it's like, okay, well, I got to set it up or whatever. But
right.
There's been a couple jokes. One of my favorite, I won't do the joke, but the one that I love the most, it's like a 15-second long. It's 15 seconds.
Yeah. Those are the best.
And
dude. Yes.
And I remember when I just thought to myself, I busted up laughing. I'm like, well, I got to do that. And it's just quick setup. I mean, I've you build up things around it anyway.
Right.
But on its own, it's just I love it. And those are just the best. When you just crack up laughing.
Yeah, if it's funny to you, most of the time, right? Most of the time, if it's funny to you, it's going to be funny to somebody else.
Yeah, my wife would disagree.
I disagree.
She's like, "What's so funny?" And then I'll try to tell her. I'm like,
"You have to explain it, right?"
Yeah. Then I have to explain it, and then it's
the explanation.
But that's the whole job of a comedian. It's like, oh, it wouldn't be funny if I explained it. It's like, no, that's what you're supposed to explain the joke and set it up, and that's your job.
Yeah.
Look, this is my partner brain, right? Like I'm gonna advocate for your wife, and I hope I'm right. But I think our brain is like, if you can't make us laugh that we know you, what makes you think that you're gonna make a stranger laugh type of thing, right?
Yeah.
But then the other side of my brain is like, wow, no, maybe a stranger doesn't know you and they're going to think like, oh, that's funny. Because my brain is always too on like, I don't want someone to say something about you or think bad about you or like my protective mode comes on when he comes out with like very like strong, jokes that I'm just like, no, don't say that, and then he surprises me on stage when the times that I go and he's like, hey, and I'm like, oh,
it kills
fuck.
though.
It kills, but
exactly.
my
anxiety and then you're like, so I don't need to listen to you all the time.
I pick and choose.
Yeah, but you can tell though too. Like usually they're correct, or not. A lot of times they're correct, and you can always know if it works right away too. If they're laughing right away, you're like, okay, well, that worked.
Because I think that as a guest, as someone that's going to go laugh, like you're going to a comedy show, right? You want to be entertained, you want to laugh, and you don't want to have to think so hard for a joke sometimes.
True.
So you want it to be at least for myself. Okay, I'll talk for myself. I want it to be a little self-explanatory where I'm not like laughing 10 seconds later.
However, if it's a reference, like say your joke is a reference joke, right? And you're referencing, I'm stuck on this one, Martha Stewart, right? And you don't know what happened to Martha Stewart, then that joke is dead when it comes to you because you don't know Martha Stewart.
Right.
True.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, I had a joke about Magic Johnson's son.
Right.
Oh,
see, like that would I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't understand.
My wife said the same thing. She's like, I don't think people are going to know who that is. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I have to change it to something more generic.
But that
she's correct.
Yeah,
for sure, correct. That's always I agree with the reference stuff. Like it could hit or miss, or if you are going to reference it, you have to
broaden it. Right, it has to be a broader
or you have to explain what it is, and you have to do it quickly. But then also, you take the risk of losing them as you explain it. So
it's too wordy and it gets too like ranty.
Yeah. But I know what you mean, Amber, about the protective nature of you wanting to protect Gil, because my wife does the same thing too. I have this one joke I'm working on, and Gil, you saw it. I did the bit where and then I start crying. I I pretend like I break down and start crying.
I love that one.
And I don't think it worked, but I think it's hysterical if I can really commit to it. But my wife was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Immediately she's like, don't do that. Don't. It's not, And I think she was right, but I kind of want to try it one more time.
Try it one more time, do it.
But yeah, it's right now? No,
not really.
No.
Later.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
Is your wife, is she the total opposite of you? Is she like out of the
limelight, we have
or
similar sense of humors. I mean, I think we both love the same styles of comedy and stuff for sure. She's usually on point. I trust her for sure implicitly when she'll tell me, like, sometimes I'll be like, I think you're wrong. And sometimes, Gil, we are correct.
Yeah.
But for the majority, I'd say she's probably correct, and it's a good sounding board. Like, because I think we have a tendency to, as comics, like, it makes sense to us.
Right.
It makes sense in your head. That's why you think of a joke and it's funny, you bust out laughing, and then what's so funny? And then you explain it and it's like, that's not funny.
Yeah. The explanation's really terrible. I think that's what it is. Like the nature of like what we
of your joke?
Oh yeah. It's terrible. Like that wouldn't be like a point of conversation at like a Christmas dinner or anything.
It kind of comes out of left field, you mean? Or
no, it's just the nature of it is just really bad.
See, I'm the one that tells
it's like really bad.
I see. Yeah. That's my kind of, that's what I love.
It's inappropriate, but then it also had no, like, it wasn't like cohesive, like to where you could put one.
Yes,
like,
it was.
No, it was. That piece was not. And that's why I put my foot
pudding
down. And grape.
Well, now we're all lost. You're right, Amber. It does not make sense.
Okay.
There you go.
I do not know where that. Okay.
Pudding.
There's no parallels, right, between pudding and grape.
So, have you ever had a grape flavored pudding?
No.
Like, can there be a grape flavored pudding?
Probably not.
No?
See, I told you.
Okay, then
chocolate, vanilla, cherry.
I'll change
strawberry.
it to desserts then.
Ooh,
Don't maybe not get too specific on the dessert. Maybe just call it dessert.
Yes. So I had the same conversation with my wife the other day. I was like, should I say this or should I say it like that? She's like, if you say it that way, then you're actually just taking people further away from what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's just going to confuse them more. Like, you don't want to confuse, because sometimes, like, a lot of comedy is like you lead them thinking what the answer is going to be,
right,
and then you sidestep it,
right.
So sometimes inadvertently, I think you're setting up the joke, and you're taking them in this direction, but you're not trying to take them in that direction. But they're there so that when you go this way, it's not a misdirect; they're just lost. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So they think your setup's going this way. But that's not even your intention, because you said that word, though. It makes them think, like, oh, he's talking about this. Yeah. But you're like, and then you're like, no, I'm actually talking about this. And like, well, why'd you say that word? Yeah, now my mind's here.
We're kind of like the dog that's like squirrel, right?
Yeah.
Like that. That's what I feel like us as audience is like, we're trying to piece together, okay, where's this guy going with his next word, with his next line?
Right.
I'm talking in just being a spectator, because I'm no comedian, but being a spectator, like, like you said, like I want it to be cohesive. I want it to make sense, and I want to laugh, and I don't want to be veered off somewhere else.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
but that's with anybody, not just skills stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
because he has some great stuff, and it's edgy, and I'm like, ugh, but it's funny. So, see, I'm not always against you.
I want to hear this joke now. I'm not gonna.
I won't do it. I have. Can I show it to you on paper?
Sure.
But don't read it out loud. Just, okay. I gotta get somebody else's perspective on this.
Okay, go for it. We're workshopping on the podcast.
Live on the air. We're reading on the podcast. Okay. Yes. I like what you've done here.
Okay, that's my. Okay, there's two options for that piece. Okay, so.
I see where you're going with it. There's something there for sure.
Right?
There's something there for
Yeah,
sure.
which I said there's something there.
For sure.
But the parallel to that word was just not.
Yeah.
Would that make sense though?
Yes. Yes.
Without that. Without this letter.
Without the G?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think you got to say the G, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I know where you're going with it.
You know,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
I think
Makes
that
sense?
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one? This
what
or
if
that?
but no.
Oh.
Because this is where she said it doesn't work with that because
it's funny because I got some. When I think of
yeah,
him, I think
right,
of that.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The audience at home knows exactly what's going on. Right, guys?
Welcome to my new segment of the podcast where nobody knows.
Time.
Yeah, nobody knows what's going on.
Can you guys guess the setup and the punchline? You won't.
Oh, this is awesome, dude.
You know what's funny though? I don't think it's ruining. You said his name already, Bill Cosby. Right. You said something about pudding, and I have a Bill Cosby thing, and I'll just do it because it's not finished, and who cares? But I think it's funny to say the idea of Bill Cosby being grossed out by one of his victims because she's not attractive or something, and he's like, I am not putting my jello in her, I don't know, something. I'm not putting little pun.
There we go.
Everyone loves puns, right?
Everybody loves it's wordplay.
It's funny.
Right. I love wordplay. I mean, you're a huge you like Mitch Hedberg, right?
I love Mitch Hedberg.
He's the fucking GOAT when it comes to those types of jokes, right?
He's every joke is what, 6 seconds?
That we were talking at Goody Two Shoes about open mic in Long Beach. Check it out; it's awesome. Yeah, Amanda's awesome.
Slater and Gabe Sosa,
awesome. They host a great mic.
Yeah, I'm doing next episode of On Deck. It's going to be
dope,
that.
Dude.
Yeah,
awesome, bro. So we were talking about. I literally broke it down. I broke down his 5 minutes, and in his 5 minutes, he got like over 120 laughs. I think it was something like that. Like his first minute got like 30.
Totally.
Second minute got like 25. Like he was in that range of the 25 to 35 range of laughs per minute. It was insane after 5 minutes, dude.
It is crazy. Yeah. It's just so short. It's just set up punchline, but it doesn't feel like set up punchline. You know what I mean? Like it's just something about it because he doesn't tell stories. You know, no. I think his longest joke's probably like 20 seconds. You know,
if that, yeah.
You know,
I think it's also too his delivery, his demeanor, his look.
He comes off like he's aloof and forgetful, and like he's just spitting shit out of his ass. Right? You know, it's like, yeah, Mitch he gone too soon for sure. I got to meet him when he came through. It was that, like I said, the album that they recorded, I think it was called like something City Grill or something, Local City Grill. There's a bass. He did a whole set, and there's a walking bass. Chuck Savage was playing. He was a comedian there, and he did the walking bass. And I think that one night that Mitch Hedberg came in, he just happened to see Chuck Savage, who was trying to do something with the stand-up bass, doing like jazz comedy kind of thing. And Mitch was like, I want to do that. Why don't you come do my show tonight? And we'll record it. And it was like this amazing special, just like kind of random happenstance. It was awesome, dude. It was, you know, and that was like prime Mitch Hedberg too. It was the best.
Yeah, dude. There's nobody like Stephen Wright is another dude.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. He's super dry, super quick, like also set up punchline. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you think if somebody thinks that Mitch is dry, they've never seen Stephen Wright. Dude.
Yeah, pretty much. He's also monotonous.
He's
too.
one tone.
He's one tone.
Tone.
Mitch had like kind of
and like he'd like swing and move a little bit, but I feel like Steven is just there. Like he's a typewriter and he's just like he's an AI.
Totally. He's a robot.
He's a robot, dude. That's what it sounds like.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard one of his jokes, I was there's this author by the name of Scott Dickers. He was the co-editor, or what is it when you're like the top editor in a
executive editor?
Yeah,
Producer?
Right. It was in The Onion, which is that. Okay. Are you familiar with The Onion?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like a parody of a news channel. So he's the head editor. There we go. Head editor of The Onion. He wrote these 3-volume of books called How to Write Funny, How to Write Funnier, and How to Write Funniest. Most of his stuff is in prose. I've got a lot of gems from just reading those volumes of books. And when you listen to his audio version, he tells you, okay, this is this. And then look at what Stephen Wright does. And Stephen Wright, the first joke I've ever heard from Stephen Wright was in his book. And it was fucking phenomenal. I was like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? I Googled him, started listening to all of his stuff. And I'm like, this is great right here, dude.
So that's your jam, yeah, Stephen?
Yeah.
What would you say he's one of your...
He's up there. I mean, Mitch is... one of my favorites. Bill Hicks for sure. George Carlin for sure. Those are right now because I do get music, right? Your music preferences change
totally, and sometimes you're just like, you know what, I want to go back and listen to like some of this early stuff.
Exactly, yeah,
for sure. I was watching Andy Kaufman yesterday.
I
grew up watching Andy Kaufman special.
Really?
That's with him and Jerry Lawler, all that stuff. Like I was young, but I remember like that was going on. That was like a thing. So I watched that, but I watched his thing that he did at Improv in Brooklyn, in Brooklyn when he first came up, and he bombed. You know, he on purpose. He brings the bongos up, and then he comes back, and he's like, he starts crying. Right? He's like, I'm just trying to do a good job, and I just want to do the thing. And then he like,
oh yeah.
Oh my god, it was. And then he comes back as Tony Clifton and just like pisses off the audience. Like it was.
I love Tony Clifton.
Can you imagine being in that audience and being like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
You know, because he came out. I think it was the first time he did Tony Clifton. I didn't know this because Tony Clifton always had like the big sunglasses. But when he first the one I watched, he didn't have the sunglasses, so everyone knew it was Andy Kaufman. They're all kind of laughing. But had he had the sunglasses from the get go, it would have been like, dude, they probably would have beat him up. I mean, that's when he started. He wrestled a woman on stage. He had the woman get out of the crowd and start, yelling at him. And then they wrestle on stage, and she beats him up. And like, dude, he was insane.
Andy Kaufman was your Hulk Hogan back in those days. Oh
man,
right?
Him, Monty Python, Mel Brooks, Saturday Night Live, like the Mike Myers era, Chris Farley, David Spade, and Rob Schneider, all those guys, and then obviously the Will Ferrell and Steve, Will Forte, Fred Armisen. Those guys are like some of my heroes.
Current classics right now, dude. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
have you seen Jim and Andy, that documentary film that Jim Carrey did when he did Man on the Moon?
No.
So when they were filming Man on the Moon, he had his own production crew follow him around as he was doing that movie.
Okay.
He had it in his... he had it locked up for a very long time until he decided, hey, okay, I want to make a documentary about this. But it was a documentary about him being such a method actor that he was like he in his mind he made himself believe that he was Andy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Have you seen the Dave Chappelle special?
The news joke, yes.
That's what he's talking about.
Totally.
Right.
It's like you have to call him Andy.
Yeah. But dude, that documentary, like he literally turned himself into.
Yeah.
He had Andy's parents come see him, and he had his daughters talk to them on the phone.
It's a little crazy, right?
I love
Jim Carrey. Jim
dude.
Carrey is a huge, like Ace Ventura. That movie that came out was like Dumb and Dumber. It was like fucking The Mask, all that shit, huge. But yeah, he's a little crazy. I mean, come on, you got to be.
That movie really changed it. It changed his trajectory.
It totally did. Because then he'd come out to award shows and he'd be like, everything's meaningless.
Yes.
You know, all that stuff. He's like, everything, why are we here right now? Have you seen that awkward interview with a woman? She's like, sorry, are you going to hand an award? And he's like, why would I win an award? What is this? Isn't this? I'm not even here right now. And the woman's like, I'm
pull it up.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Extra. We're on Extra right now. We're on E Entertainment Television. The housewives are not interested in existentialism. You know what I mean? But yeah, he totally went off the deep end, you know? And
he did. And I think it was just that method acting being Andy Kaufman really, like, it maybe switched.
Scrambled some wires.
Maybe aligned some wires. Maybe aligned for him.
Maybe
right?
he literally, the brainwaves, the ghosts, he channeled the spirit of.
Because as an act, is it this one?
Is it that one?
Well, he has a lot.
Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot. Exactly. Which one?
Would you put Jim Carrey awkward interviews?
I think it's the first one.
Hey, Jim Carrey. Yes. I've covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join.
Poor woman.
And here I am.
They're celebrating.
You got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons.
in
Boy,
icons?
that is just the absolute lowest aiming.
Her face. She's got no one to throw to.
It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe
who are you wearing?
Exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Settle down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off.
Right.
I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy.
Look at her face.
He's a thespian, dude.
And
she's like,
I don't
what?
care.
Jim, you got really dressed
I don't
up
care.
for
I don't know what to
occasion.
do
You
with
look
this.
Good.
Like,
no, I
Was
didn't
that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not
No.
here. This is a dream.
There's just things happening. And there are clusters of tetrahedrons moving around together.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's happening in our world right now? Because there is a lot of news that actually is relevant that's not that
Here's
uplifting.
the thing. It's not our world.
None
That's
of this
the
is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the
Wonderful.
good news.
Okay.
That was awesome, dude.
pretty awesome. This is like the most awkward interview ever. And it's funny. I agree with like a lot of things he's saying, but it's like the Mormons showing up at your door, be like, "Can we have this conversation right now?" You're like, "I'm not here for that right now, bro. Like, playing Fortnite. Like, can you come back later?" You know what I mean? Like, yeah, poor girl. I don't know.
We should start something like a Mormon type of deal, but just it be all these weird Jim Carrey ideas, and we'll call us the Jim Carrey Church of
Church of Jim
Nothing
Carrey.
Matters or something.
The nihilists.
And there'll be different characters that Jim Carrey has played over the years. Like one guy would be the Mask, Jim Carrey.
Right.
The other guy would be the Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's like that movie. It's the guy who had like 12 personalities or something like that. With M. Night Shyamalan did it.
Oh, that was a good movie.
What's it called? Like Slither? No, like
Slytherin? I don't know.
something.
Slytherin is
It's like that, but it's all the Jim
Harry
Carrey.
Potter.
Yeah, no, not Slytherin. I don't know what it was. But yeah, it's just Jim Carrey pretty much in all the different personalities.
Yeah. Can get hoods or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll call him. I'll give him. I'll see if he's interested.
Give him a call,
Yeah,
dude. That is something that you say, like what he was talking about, just something you say coming out of a 10-hour psychedelic mushroom trip or something.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, because he doesn't look like he's on drugs.
No.
Like, but he did some drugs.
Right.
That got him to,
Right, like, what is it? We're just surrounded by electrons,
yeah,
bro.
he's like tetrahedrons and shit. Like, he's talking about was that sacred geometry and shit. Like, he's tapped into some knowledge there. That
there's a piece in the documentary, dude. Is he's met like the moment he talks about the moment he switches from Jim to Andy. And just the way that he describes it was it was spiritual, bro. Like the way that he described it, that he was sitting down and looking at like a pond or something, right? And then he was like, I am Andy. Like he kept on, calling Andy into the universe to take over his body type of thing. Right?
And he did.
And it did. I don't know. It's just, this guy is crazy.
How deep do you want to go right now, Gil? I mean,
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of, like, when you're talking about the ghosts and the interdimensional things, I'm crazy. So just take this with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I have I have a wild imagination. I love entertaining any sort of crazy idea. And I know it's probably bullshit, but I'm just like, maybe, sure. Why not? But like that kind of stuff, like channeling, it's almost like the Ouija board stuff, like there's things that I think that we may not believe in it, but other people do.
Yeah.
And they're certainly dabbling in whatever that is. And maybe he's been turned on to some of that.
The mind is so crazy. If you, as an actor, you have to have a switch, right? Or some actors can have a switch when they turn on. Being a comic is kind of the same thing. You gotta know when to turn on. Yes. Turn it up a notch, right?
For sure.
Turn the dial just a little bit. And I'm sure seems like what he did is he turned it way up and opened up to the idea of having somebody else drive for him, right?
Yeah.
And maybe studying Andy Kaufman for all this time kind of gave him that confidence to actually become Andy. Or if we want to take it a step further, maybe Andy did in some way, but also there's some people out there that think that Andy Kaufman didn't die, that he's going to come back.
Right.
That he's been back.
They've been waiting a long time.
Can we look up Andy Kaufman sightings? I've seen a couple of them.
You think so? You think he faked it? I feel like if he did, it would, like, he's waited too long.
Yeah.
Most people, that's why I'm like, nah, he's probably dead.
Right.
Because if everyone's dead. Everyone that you're pulling the joke on is dead now. So, like.
Can you imagine him coming back now and be like, hey.
It's like, who? Who? Who's Andy Kaufman? You know what I mean? Like, you say Will Smith, they're like, who's that? Jada, is that, what's the Willow Smith's dad? You're like.
And then you'll probably have like somebody from, like, it'll probably be you behind in the theater. Ha! You know how when some people get those laughs in comedy places, I don't know. Maybe he looks like him, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's been too long for him to come back.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
I think so.
I mean, even the Elvis thing too long.
Too long. The one I'll still give hope to is the Michael Jackson one. Have you heard the Michael Jackson one? That he dresses up as a burn victim or something.
I've seen that. Yeah.
You seen that one? And then he shows up at award shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still now?
Well, I guess it's been a while, but it was like, I don't know.
What was can you look up the date? Was it Davey or something like that?
Yeah,
the burn victim?
The burn victim
was called Davey. Can you look it up to see what the name was?
Yeah, I mean, and then also you read the things like, you idiots, like, he's this guy. And like, no, Michael Jackson's dead, dummy. But I will say they have the same eyes. They do have the same eyes.
There's a lot of similarities to that, for sure.
I love the Michael
Still
Jackson
alive, or just put burn victim Davy.
I don't want to see a burn victim.
No, if you put Davy, it would be in there. Google's not that crazy. Not anymore. Do you remember when you used to search up for Google and you used to have thousands, like at the bottom of the page? It used to be like thousands
of other pages.
Now there's like 10.
You will go to the sites we want you to go to.
Exactly.
Oh, that guy.
There we go. Yeah, Dave. There we go.
But see, he's there with him.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably bullshit. But the one where he's on...
I debunked it in
where
like a
he's
second.
No, but I think what they say is, right, the real Dave passed away.
Right, and then he took
over. I mean, come on, there has to be a loophole to this, and that's the loophole, is that the real Dave passed away, and Michael Jackson took over his spot.
Right.
Ow, but why would he go through...
No, he wouldn't. It's all makeup or a mask. He wouldn't really burn himself.
Well, he did get burned on that Pepsi commercial, right?
Commercial.
With his glove, right? His glove caught on
That's
fire?
when it all went downhill. That's what I heard. That's when it all went down, because it burned him, and then he had to get all these like surgeries and stuff. And...
Well, it was weird for me, because me and my wife, we love Michael Jackson. We were pretty upset when he died. Granted, there's he was a weird dude. Like, I mean, I love his music. He was a weird dude. I just love the videos that are coming out. They're like, they say you've had your lips done and your nose, and he's like, no, nonsense. Like, it's all lies. It's all lies. It's like, bro, look at your face. Like, you're gaslighting me like right now. Like, look at your. I'm gonna hold up this photo and this photo. You're telling me they look the same. It's like, no, it's all just,
I'll tell you one thing about Michael Jackson, and that he was a great artist. He was a really good artist. Did you know he wrote and composed along with Quincy Jones that one song? What was that? We watched a great documentary today.
We Are the World.
We Are the World.
Yeah.
And it was a documentary about that song. He wrote it. He came up with the melody.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of his songs. He would come up with the beats. He pretty much, whatever you heard in his head.
Right.
I don't know if he was a good instrumentalist. I mean, he maybe played some stuff.
Yeah,
No.
they
Not
said
like
he
Prince,
wasn't.
He wasn't.
But he would beatbox, and he would whatever he would do. And yeah, he was super talented.
We were just talking about him earlier while we were watching the documentary, and I was like, I don't care what they say about him. I love Michael Jackson.
I mean,
yes, of course.
You got it. I'll separate the man.
Let's separate that, and let's hope that that's not what it is. But I really like him.
I don't want to admit it, but I mean, come on, he was.
Yeah.
I don't know if
he was weird.
He was a weird dude. You don't invite children into your bed.
What did he say on the documentary that was so fucking it was the way he walked. Like, he was just like, he sang like really fucking, he belted out the song, and then he was just like,
he was like, such an awkward guy, though.
He was weird.
He was a weird
He
dude.
walked away from the mic. He was like, hey.
I also love the clip.
Walked away, dude.
The We Are the World, and because he was also a perfectionist too.
Right.
It was like, he was notorious, I guess, for like, it's got to be perfect or you get the fuck out.
Right.
But like, they're all singing the We Are the World, and Cyndi Lauper's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And he's like, you just look at him, he's like, God, this sucks. And he's like dealing with like 30 other like huge pop stars.
Yes.
So he can't really coach them.
Yeah.
But you could tell he's just like this, he's so pissed.
The Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan was, dude.
Yeah.
Pull up a picture of Bob Dylan doing, recording that. What is this song called?
We Are the World.
We Are the World. Okay, I gotta listen to it. I haven't heard it, but
You don't know the song?
I've heard it like in passing over 32 years, but I never.
I figured this. How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay, so I got 10 years on you.
Okay.
That's probably why.
I know Bob Dylan though. I love Bob Dylan.
Yeah, but that song was like, well, for my decade,
gotcha.
It was huge.
It was huge. I know that song.
Amber knows that song.
I've got it on vinyl.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard it in passing. Okay.
All right, fair enough. There's plenty of things that I haven't.
I have to watch.
I didn't know any Bill Hicks material, so I mean.
Oh, there we go. I have to watch a whole documentary on one song to get me to listen to it. That's how indecisive I am. I got. Is there a documentary on this song?
Before I even.
Yeah. I thought you already had heard the song before we watched.
I've heard it in passing.
Well, Taylor Swift has a couple documentaries, so you're gonna have to start tackling those.
Yeah.
I hate Taylor Swift.
I do. I just watch I can just watch
I don't hate anybody, but I don't like her.
I can just watch a Kansas City.
Dude, they have to win, right? They have to win. There's rumors now he's going to propose or something.
Oh, Jesus.
It's all it's what do they call smoke and mirrors? Mirrors and smoke.
Yeah.
It's all. Let's get back to Bob Dylan.
Let me pick my bone real quick with her.
With who? Cyndi Lauper?
No, Taylor Swift. Oh. I don't care for her. I never have. I didn't grow up like listening to her. But I think her face that she did at these award shows with the Joy, what's his name? Joy Coy, or that he made
Joe Coy.
Joe Coy, that he made a joke about her, and then they pan the camera to her, and she rolls her eyes like she was so annoyed. To me, I was like, "Come on, like, yeah, like be a good
Lighten
sport, lighten up." Like, I feel like she feels like she's untouchable. That's why I don't like her.
Yeah, I just.
Do you like her?
I don't like her because she can't hold a steady relationship. Really, that's
the only way she can do albums. Every album is.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how this new album is going to be after.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be a good one.
About football, tackling, and first downs. It's going to be.
I think she's just
flag on the play. It's going to be.
She's just trying to get into the market for men. Like her marketing agent is probably like, we need more men.
I don't get it. I feel like it's not for her. It's for him.
Right.
Yeah.
We need more.
You know, it's like, hey, we'll set you up with a pop star. How would you like to date Taylor Swift? She can give shit. She's getting paid regardless. It's like that was that movie with John Cusack and Julia Roberts, and they're actors, and they're like, we need to revive your career. You're going to have a relationship, and it's going to be all.
Which one?
That has to go on, right? It's all the relationships are bullshit. Right?
Yeah,
it's literally like you get paid, you know, you have to pay. Do you want to date Taylor Swift? It'll cost you $1 million. Like literally.
You're like, hell yeah.
Prostituting them.
But she's also getting a lot of screen time on national television, or does she always have that national?
I think anywhere she goes.
She's
huge. She's huge. But yeah, I don't get the obsession. That's what's weird about it.
Mm.
But yeah.
It's like every game, it's like they do a play and then they pan to her, and then they do a play and then they pan the camera to her, and it's just like,
it's distracting.
Heck?
You know?
Distracting.
Yeah.
Over here.
Bob Dylan. I got into Bob Dylan for a while. I like his songs and I like his music, but over time, I just feel like I'm just a hater tonight. His voice, I can't listen to his voice. It's like trying to listen to who's the other guy who did. Oh God, oh my God, it's not gonna come. Forget it. But he just sounds like he's taking a shit. Like everything he just sounds constipated.
I liked his early stuff when he first started.
No,
when he went electric, that's when it changed.
Everything he doesn't even sing the song.
He pulled it off really well in the song, though.
No, I don't think so.
No, I like that.
I
part.
thought he was like shitty. Like they shouldn't even have asked him.
You know what it is? He had to. And going back to the documentary, Stevie Wonder coached him. Like he looked like he was super out of place there, right? Like
Bob Dylan?
Yeah, pull up his picture again. He looked super uncomfortable. Like,
yeah, he probably was.
This guy does not want to be there. Like he was like mumbling stuff. Like he wasn't even part of the chorus. He does a little solo in that song, right? And he tells the producer goes in the studio and gets everybody out. Okay, move everybody along. Bob Dylan asks Stevie Wonder to help him out. To like, how is it gonna go?
This kind of.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder is such a great mimic that he sings Bob Dylan's part and kind of
as Bob Dylan,
and says, "Okay, maybe something like this," and then he's like, He does that part, and then Bob sings, and it came out
his
okay.
His
I
face,
thought.
his demeanor, everything changed.
Yeah, like he was like, "Oh, now I get it. We're here to sing this song."
I just like the idea of Stevie Wonder trying to coach Bob Dylan on how to sing and being like, he's like, "Here we go," and then Bob's just like, "Eh," and then he's like, "No, that's not the same. That's not what I'm." Listen. Like Bob. I don't know.
Well, what's a good
watch the documentary?
What's a good Stevie Wonder song? What's the Superstitious?
Yeah.
Superstition. Imagine Bob Dylan singing Superstition, right?
Very superstition.
We're thinking about
on the wall.
Putting on the wall. We're thinking about the government as we're doing this on the wall.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm doing a early Bob
Do you think
Dylan
Stevie
voice.
Wonder is blind?
Oh, I love that theory.
That one's a
he
good
probably
one,
is. Right. I mean, I don't know. If he's not, he's a great actor.
He's a good actor. I think Stevie Wonder was in the documentary. I'm going back in the documentary because it was great. There was a piece in the documentary where Stevie Wonder leads Ray Charles to the restroom. Like Ray Charles asked Stevie Wonder, "Hey, like, where's the restroom? Can you show me?"
The blind, huh?
Yeah,
literally. Jeez. So yeah, that's a little sus. How did Stevie know?
Right.
Ray couldn't find his way.
Yeah.
Maybe just because Ray had trouble walking. He was older at that point. Or
yeah,
what?
he was like.
Was he?
Old. Yeah, he looked like he was like 70.
Aren't they the same age? No.
No.
Really? Ray's way older.
He was way older.
Ray is Ray older.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
Stevie's
dead? Still going. No, Stevie Wonder.
Alive?
Stevie's still going. I love Stevie Wonder. He's like, dude, Songs in the Key of Life. It's great. It's a great album.
I can't name an album. No.
Do you remember when Stevie Wonder was on the Cosby Show though?
He was?
He was on the Cosby Show.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a full in-depth character?
Yes, he was Stevie Wonder. They go and they meet Stevie Wonder in the studio, and I think Bill Cosby's there, and all the family's there, and he's got this like synthesizer keyboard, and he's like, say something. What's the son's name? And Theo. He's like, hey Theo, say something on the mic there, and Theo's like jamming on the one. And then like Stevie Wonder hits the keyboard. It's like jamming on the one, jamming on the one. And they're like, wow, that's so cool. And then he like crafts this like song, and they're all in the studio. You don't remember that?
No.
I just remember jamming on the one is like burned into my brain.
Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one. Jamming on the one. He's like, I'm gonna make a dude. I'll see what we can. That's great. I was.
Why do you think that all blind artists do that like swaying thing?
Do they, or is that just a Stevie thing?
No.
Ray did it too. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm more of a Ray Charles fan than Stevie Wonder.
I like them both. I love them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I don't know. It's like it's almost just like a metronome. Yeah, it's like they're just the rhythm.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know.
Actually, like
Ray Charles probably saw Stevie Wonder do that. I was like, oh, I gotta do that. You saw him.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that song.
Well, this one.
No chocolate covered candy hearts to give away. No
Yeah, I think Stevie's pretty much one of the greatest singers of our time, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
there's not many people that come close.
Here's just another ordinary day. No April rain. No April rain.
Is this not the part?
No, it's not.
It's with Theo.
Yeah, maybe fast forward it a bit when they all come in afterwards.
Oh, I think it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, right here?
There we go.
Let's see.
Say, I love you.
It's a fly suit, though.
I just called to say how much I care. I do. I just called to say.
That Raven Simone is so cute. She's gonna grow up to
She's
be
so
something.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Rudy.
No, that was Rudy,
That was
yeah.
pre-Raven.
Yeah, that's not Raven.
Yeah, Rudy grew up and they're like, shit. We need another cute little girl.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is
That's not it.
Damn it. Type
But-
of just like jamming on the one.
Yeah.
Literally just that.
Okay.
Jamming on the one. Yeah. Jamming on the one.
Jamming
Jamming
on
on
the
the
one.
one.
I don't know.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
there
There you go.
What would you say at a party? Jamming on the one.
Jamming on the one. Jamming on the one.
Oh, so he's like pressing it and.
Yeah, he recorded, like he synthesized it.
Oh, gotcha.
Now it's like standard. Now it's just an app on your phone. You
Yeah,
can,
I know.
You know. Big whoop. Big whoop, Stevie.
Now that we got.
Give me something new and exciting.
Give me something cool.
Old hat.
Catch a baseball.
Now AI can have this whole show for us. It could
Loser.
just- yeah. We could just have AI be my
Dang.
voice.
Talking about AI real quick. I seen yesterday somebody put a video of saying like, watch out for this new scam. So I don't know how they do it, but
I know what you're
they're
saying,
AIing like your parents'
Mhm.
voice or your family member's
Yes.
voice. And then they'll call you
Yes.
and be like, "Hey, my car is on the side of the road, and
Mhm.
and I have to pay the tow truck guy, and I forgot my wallet. Can you send me X amount?" And it sounds like your freaking mom.
Totally. I've used that technology. I've meddled with it just because I wanted to see what it is. Dude, it's incredible. You just need 10 seconds of somebody's voice, and then you put it into this AI chat filter thing, and then whatever you type out, it'll say it in that voice, and you can choose excited, angry, like you can choose the tone. It's
Dang.
insane.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's those phone calls when you answer and you're like, "Hello," and nobody's saying anything.
Yes,
and you're
they
like,
say you're supposed to
"Hello."
hang up because the rumor is that they're capturing your voice.
Is that legal?
Oh no, of course not.
But scamming isn't
Oh.
illegal either.
Yeah, yeah. Theft is usually outlawed.
Is it?
Well, I guess I don't know. We're in California; it's a little different.
Yeah.
Now they're like, please don't do it again.
We have a different type of
You have
theft.
to, you have to
Different
steal
theft.
like $10,000.
Different threshold.
$999. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Dang, that's wild, dude.
It's
From
crazy.
10 seconds of just.
Yeah, it's like a 20. It needs like 20-second clip. Mm-hmm.
Whoa,
So
I
let's
have
say
like a
you're-
lot of 20-second clips of my voice on the
Yeah.
internet.
So if anything, like if you had, I know you're not going to edit this, but if you wanted to, you
Right.
could make me say anything you want.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna try
just
it.
Be gentle.
Okay.
It's my first time.
All right. Okay, so I want to see a couple of these things, and then we'll let you go. The conspiracy stuff about Stevie Nicks,
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie whatever.
Stevie
Oh,
Nicks
Stevie
is-
Wonder not.
I have-
blind.
Tuned out. I want to see this. Stevie Wonder. Because I think I've seen this before where he like looks over at stuff, like he catches things that are about to fall.
Proof that he can see.
I'm going to try to find like a shorter one.
Yeah. But there's like he even reacts to rumors. Look at Seinfeld.
Oh, this pool.
Oh, right there. Like
Oh, he caught the...
yeah.
What did he do? He caught the mic that was
He caught the
falling?
mic that was falling right there. Boom. Yep.
Oh, shoot.
He catches that.
Did he catch it, or did his hand just happen to move with that?
No, he like moved with it.
I think he was like, he was probably like scratching himself and the camera's panning. And he was like, oh shit, someone's moving. They're going to see me. Yeah, he picks it up.
Maybe he was just he sensed Paul passing him,
Maybe he heard the thud too.
Maybe. Yeah, it's like what's his name? Daredevil. Right?
Daredevil, yeah.
He's blind. He can catch a flying brick.
This is the. It's probably the whole premise of Daredevil. Like this was the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the bottom of the stand probably like nutted his like not nutted like nudged.
nutted on the stage.
Nudged.
He was so excited to be on the stage with the Sir Paul McCartney. He was like, I'm gonna nut.
It nudged like his foot or something.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Okay.
Yesterday, I don't know. I don't got nothing.
I do a Paul McCartney impression. I like to do Paul McCartney as he's gotten old. I love the Beatles. I was a big Beatles fan. Paul McCartney is like, and he's gotten old now, you know. He's gotten old, you know. He talks about John a lot, you know. And as he's gotten older, you know, he's like yesterday, you know. That's it.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody actually asked you to do an impression on the live, so.
Oh.
So
of what?
There was. It just said to make you do an impression.
To see if you did an impression.
Yeah. Paul McCartney's my jam.
There you go.
I do a good Pee Wee.
Oh, I hear that.
Give me a second. Hang on. I gotta commit. If I don't, it's gonna sound like shit. Good morning, Cocky. What's the secret word of the day? You know, Pee Wee was a perv, dude. He was a perv. I watched that show all the time. There were things like Missy Vaughn. Did you watch that show?
No.
Missy Vaughn would come over, and her tits would be like spilling out of her dress, and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, Missy Vaughn," and then Flory would be like, "I've got the best seat in the house."
Yeah.
He's like looking up her skirt.
Oh my god.
And, yeah, dude. They were all pervs, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There was hints in there. Like
There were hints. And then obviously, you know, he got caught in the theater doing the naughty dance. But dude, he literally does it. There's an episode where the mail lady comes up, Rita, the mail lady comes over, and he's like playing doctor. Already, we're off to a bad start.
Right.
And he's like, "Oops, I dropped my thing." And then he bends down and he's got this mirror. And he's like looking up her skirt, dude, like on Saturday morning cartoons, dude. Like, you can look it up another time. Save that for the after show or something. But yeah, dude.
Somebody said Nike had a Pee Wee dunks, and on the insole was a picture of Pee Wee sitting in a movie theater.
Ooh.
You know, I mean, it's hard to get laid when you're Pee Wee. You know, it's just not hot. You know. There's something there.
There's something there, dude.
Something there.
Oh my god, Danny, thanks for coming out.
Hey, thanks for having me. That was fun.
Doing the podcast.
Yeah,
man. Appreciate it. Next time we'll do Pee Wee Herman versus Macho Man Randy Savage. Next time.
Okay.
All right. So tell us where we can find you and what you got coming up.
Yeah, Saturday night, House of Blues. Let's see, I'm doing King's Brew Co. in Rancho on the 8th. We got Continental Room on the 15th in Fullerton, and then Comedy Boulevard in LA on the 23rd. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys, and give me a follow on the gram. My low count, I just started. It's kind of sad. 215 followers. And
let's get more followers.
Come on, guys, we can do better than that. Don't make me beg.
I'll make it easier for you guys. I'll throw his link down to his Instagram down in the show description if you're listening to it on Spotify or YouTube. Go down to the show description, click it, follow him, check him out. He's very funny, dude. Check out all his stuff that are coming up, pretty local. And this was awesome, man. Danny,
thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
I appreciate it. It was fun.
And doing this. Love to have you again.
Yeah, anytime.
Awesome, dude. What do we got, Amber?
Sorry.
February 23rd is Delic Comedy in the city of Paramount. Go down to mindbuzz.org for more. We have lots of open mic comics, amateurs, all the way up to professionals that are selling out in their own clubs. Pretty awesome lineup. Special guests, we've already announced Johnny Gold as one of the special guests, and the next couple of days we'll announce our second special guest of the evening. We've locked in a band for the night. We're going to have a live band. It's going to be such a huge, great thing. City of Paramount, February 23rd. Come out and have some drinks, have some food, have some laughs. It's going to be awesome. Peace.
The Mind Buzz.
You had fun?
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks for listening to the Mind Buzz podcast. Subscribe to the Mind Buzz YouTube channel and watch full podcast episodes. Keep up with the hosts, guests, and upcoming events by following the Mind Buzz on Instagram @the Mind Buzz. See you on the next one.